Caribbean island of Grenada is just 134 square miles. But its lush and fertile terrain produces more than 20% of the world's nutmeg, earning it the nickname, the Spice Island.
Historically, it has always been the spice of the Caribbean, the Spice Island, because nutmeg is such a central importance, and it is significant to just about every family on the island. I mean, it is our black gold. You can probably find any Grenadian anywhere in the world, right, in the diaspora, and they will tell you their experience with nutmeg as a child, because as a child, that's one of the things you do in your holiday period. You go and you want to buy something, there's money on the ground. Go pick it up, sell it, you know.
Recia Charles owns a nutmeg farm in the north of the island.
So this is the pod. It's what they would do the jams and jellies with. And this is the mace, the red, the aril. And then you have the hard nutmeg shell. This has to be dried first, and then you actually have the nutmeg inside the hard shell, yes. So there is a whole book about the lady in the red petticoat, right? So you see why it's the lady in the red petticoat, because it is red. So you have a dried one here. So after you crack the shell open, and then you could ground this to get the nutmeg oils or the ground nutmeg, right?
Best known abroad as a seasonal cooking spice, nutmeg is an essential part of daily life in Grenada. Its warm, nutty flavor is found in everything from stews and chocolates to teas and pain relievers. Although Grenada produces other top-quality spices like cinnamon and clove, only nutmeg features on the national flag. Brought to the island from Indonesia in the mid-1800s, nutmeg is Grenada's top export thanks to growing demand in Canada, Europe, and South America.
Uniqueness that is further enhanced. Of course, our soil and the terroir, in our place is also important. And there is also, in Grenada, a lot of our nutmeg is mixed farming. And so that combination of the different trees, the ecosystem, the pollination, all of these things could add up to that uniqueness that you get from Grenada nutmeg. What it brings to you, the taste, your taste buds, would literally light up. All parts, that have never been used for many years would light up with our nutmeg. And this is what we want persons to understand. It's not a regular nutmeg. It's special.
But today, the nutmeg crops that are so essential to Grenadian livelihoods and culture face a gathering threat from climate change. As ocean temperatures rise, devastating storms are striking the island more frequently. Nutmeg trees have shallow root systems, leaving them prone to getting toppled by fierce winds. So much so, in fact, that the United Nations has called the spice the most vulnerable to extreme weather. Between 2004 and 2005, in the aftermath of Hurricanes Ivan and Emily, more than 90% of the island's nutmeg trees were wiped out. Recovery was slow going. Nutmeg trees take at least 5 years to bear fruit, and it takes 20 to reach their full potential. Last year, Hurricane Beryl dealt the industry another major setback, felling hundreds of thousands of trees. While production levels remain far lower than they were 2 decades ago, industry leaders say that technical improvements, an effort to diversify nutmeg products, and associated tourism are helping to make the island more resilient in advance of future storms.
The agritourism component is also part of the export, in that the visitors don't only buy and utilize the product here, but they can also carry it back to the country. They can make more referrals, and this we see as a very great growth potential for our industry.
Tourism is surging in Grenada. Last year, the island posted a near 20% increase in visitors. Though far down the Caribbean chain, at the bottom of the Lesser Antilles, the island is attracting more and more tourists seeking an authentic cultural experience beyond all-inclusive resorts and white sand beaches, though Grenada has plenty of those too.
Grenada
nutmeg and cocoa. Around the Caribbean you may. So around the Caribbean, you hear everybody talks about the nutmeg.
Spice vendor Enid Bain has worked in St. George's main market for 35 years.
We have cinnamon, we have clove, we have nutmegs, we got bay leaf, we're interested in cocoa. We produce cocoa because it is so special. We have everything that we produce in this country, this little island of Grenada. The nutmeg is so special because you make your jams, you have your jelly, we have nutmeg spray, we have nutmeg oil, we have everything that we imported, so important in this Caribbean, and the national flag. So that's to tell you how important our nutmeg is in the Grenada. When people came to Grenada, they saw the uses of nutmeg, so they take it back. So we have nutmeg imported to all different countries. By the nutmeg circulating our beautiful island all over, everybody get to know about the nutmeg. So everybody now comes to Grenada and they look for the nutmeg because they know how important the nutmeg is.
Before Hurricane Ivan struck in late 2004, Grenada had more than 8,000 nutmeg farmers earning some $50 million in annual income. Today, the number of farmers has shrunk by about 2/3, but it's estimated that nutmeg still provides income to some 30% of the population. The GCNA's pool in the town of Samaritan is one of several on the island where farmers bring their nutmeg to sell. The air is tinged with the smell of spice. The space hardly changed since it opened nearly a century ago.
Well, maybe when the rain season, like now, coming in, so maybe once a week, I might come. Why? Nutmeg very, very useful. Because that's the majority of farmers, the people in Grenada, they use nutmeg like the daily job they do.
Kelvin Ferguson has farmed nutmeg since he was a boy, following in the footsteps of his grandmother. His 9 pounds of nutmeg fetch a little over 30 Eastern Caribbean dollars, less than he'd like, but enough to supplement his wages as a laborer and support his family.
Yes. I have 7 children. I make a lot of children. If I support everyone, I send them out to school, and right now they get big, so they walk in, so after that. They take school, right? They may not like to do farmer, and they might not like that because the education they have, they're looking for office work and this kind of work and them like that.
This is the culture of doing nutmegs. Farmers go to the land, they pick up the nutmegs, they come in here and sell. So we buy and we pay them out cash, $3.50 per pound. It's up. Right now it just go up by 50 cents. When the farmers come in with the nutmegs, the worker will pour it into the tray and search for the bad ones. We say on immature or grow head, those are growing already, and they will remove it, and then they take the weight of it, and according to the weight, you get paid for it.
Stephanie Berry has worked at the pool for more than 3 decades.
I started as an ordinary worker here, washing nutmegs, extracting, assorting, but then I was promoted to work at the office, like a clerk in charge. Well, for today, as you see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, almost 1,400 pounds plus we buy for today, we purchase for today. And that could be about, maybe about almost running 20 farmers coming.
After the buying is done, workers lay the nutmeg on flatbeds to air dry for several weeks. It's then bagged and transported to a processing station in the nearby town of Guave. There, the shells are cracked and seeds are inspected and sorted by size before being shipped overseas.
They will go and spread it out on the shelves and they will dry. They have workers storing it day by every day, a working day, that it will dry properly.
In the wake of Hurricane Beryl, Barry says that a lot of longtime farmers have given up.
The last hurricane we had, it hit us so hard that we have lost so much of it, almost, you say 90+%. Because the amount of farmers we still have coming in, many of them not coming out because they are real down. Some giving up, some saying they're not going back to the field, but some still struggling.
Barry's daughter Akeisha manages the Nutmeg Museum in a former processing center in the nearby town of Victoria. She says nutmeg tourism is on the rise.
Hurricane Ivan was in 2004, where the farmers lost approximately 90% of the nutmeg tree. And with that, here we was not receiving any nutmeg, so we had to close down this facility and we turned here into a museum. We have all over the world is coming here to know about the nutmeg, to learn about the nutmeg, to purchase nutmeg, to the products made from it.
Back up at the farm, Recia Charles and her staff are evolving growing techniques to better protect their nutmeg crop ahead of the next storms. These include windbreaks made of bamboo to temper winds and reduce erosion, a lesson learned from Hurricane Beryl.
Post-Ivan, I saw the difference in this property and the other piece of property, right? One where we had the bamboo nicely cleared out, no bamboo, and the field of nutmeg, because I could show you pictures of the pre-Ivan nutmegs. That was just fields of nutmeg with no bamboo. Ivan came, it was gone, right? It was like there was nothing there before, right? And then you look at this property and it's like, okay, it has bamboo, but in and between you're seeing all of the older trees, the clove, the cinnamon, the cocoa, the nutmeg, and they survive better than those that had no bamboo. So some of these bamboo trees, as much as they're shading the nutmeg, some of these trees probably is what protected these few trees here, I would say. So we're gonna keep the bamboo as a windbreak, windshield kinda. And also the bamboo roots is also holding up the land from slippage as well, which is something a lot of people don't seem to consider. So that's how I envision us working with the bamboo. We're not planning to pull it out of the ground altogether because it has some value.
Intercropping with cocoa, banana, and root crops has also been an effective technique in protecting nutmeg trees. Charles says this has the added benefit of imbuing the nutmeg with a richer flavor profile.
Sometimes when you start digging the soil or so, the trees would be seeping out the nutmeg oils. So that gives the cocoa, because all the root systems would be interlocked. And I think that is one of the things that gives our cocoa a unique flavor profile compared to like Ivory Coast and so on. That's monoculture. Whereas the cocoa in Grenada is interplanted with all the variety of spices, inclusive of nutmeg, the cinnamon, the clove, the pimentos, all of those.
Charles and her staff have also tried to improve drainage, so water can find its way out rather than accumulate and cause flood damage. Another lesson learned from the last hurricane.
One of the drains near the house that had gotten blocked, and as a result, right behind the house, we had a landslide. And that's because that particular drain got blocked. And by the time I realized, it's like, oh, okay, there goes that little bit of land. It just whoop. Yeah. One of the things we do concentrate on is the drainage. We try to do it when it's raining so that you could see the natural flow of the water, because water has its way.
Charles was an economist at the National University before she bought her 330-acre estate and started farming. She insists that Grenada's nutmeg industry is too stuck in its ways and needs to innovate to realize the spice's full market potential and improve livelihoods on the island.
When I taught international business at the university, this is something I did a whole lecture on the potential of nutmeg and the fact that we do not place enough value. We value it as a cash crop and an export commodity, but we don't value the derivatives that come from it. It's one thing to have the natural resource. The natural resource alone is not going to drive your development. You actually need to do something. You need to have supporting and related industries. You have to have persons who can say, okay, we can do these food products or some maybe medicinal products and different types of things from it. You know, you need also competition, because competition, guess what? It drives innovation, right? So you cannot say, okay, we're going to develop a nutmeg industry, but we're going to have one player. One player means I have no reason to innovate. You need here more entrepreneurial ventures into what are the derivative products from the oils, the oleoresins that could go into different food products. I see the potential. I mean, millions to billions. There's a lot more value added that could be done that's not yet being done, but you need more persons who understand the science of it. You need the equipment, you need the investment in the industry.
Nutmeg Association leaders agree that there is untapped market potential and say they are developing value-added nutmeg products to generate more revenue.
We have to look to involve more science, more excitement in terms of the research, because there are many different aspects in the nutmeg value chain where there are a lot of employments can be created. And so at the end of the day, we can add more value and we create better experience for the users with the product. It's all about building our resilience.